Hello. Today we are going to measure Weston for making the man's shirt. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my chart that's in your syllabus, page 70, and I'm just going to go right down the measurements on there so that you can see how we do it. Okay. So the first one is chest. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Weston turn towards me, and I'm just going to measure right around his fullest part of his chest, and he's going to breathe normally. And I'm okay to do it over this t-shirt because we always put in a little extra ease in men's shirts anyway. Okay, so once I get my number, now one thing you want to be careful of is you don't stick all your fingers in like this. So you just kind of want to get a nice clean measurement, and then you will take it and write it down here. Okay? All right, the next thing we're going to do is waist. Now, on your chart, it says waist is if needed. Now, Weston, you look pretty fit to me. He doesn't have a big tummy. So that would probably be one measurement I don't have to do. But in case you do, if you're measuring someone that does have a little bit more of a tummy or a belly, then you just want to kind of find their waist and just make sure you've got it. And if it's, see now this one is smaller than his chest. If it's bigger, definitely write it down, or the hip. So I'm going to just take note, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. Okay, the next one is the hip. Okay, whenever I measure hip, okay, I'm going to have him turn to the side. All right, when we do the hip, I like to stand right on the side, and so I'm going to have him stand right here so that you can see the fullest part of his seat, all right? And so then I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to go around, and I'm just going to go around so that I get that fullest part. Now, one thing about the hip is that his shirt may not even come to his hip. So a lot of it kind of also depends on how long he wants his shirt. So so you need to determine that. If I say to him now, your t-shirt's about to here, do you like that length? And then I might move it up just a little bit. But if you get the full hip, then you're probably good to go. Okay, so I've got that, and now I'm going to write that down. All right, we're going to do the length of his shirt. So I want him to stand nice and tall, but a normal posture. And what I'm going to do is there's kind of a little bump on most people's necks right there. And so I'm going to use that, or what I can do, go ahead and put your head up. What I can do is I can look to see, like right here is where his neck and his back come together, but that's usually where the collar starts. So I'm just going to kind of go up towards that just a little bit more. And I'm going to come all the way down, and I'm already decided how long he wants it, and he wants it the length of his t-shirt, which is hidden kind of right above his, covers just the top of his pockets. So I'm just going to come down there, and that's 28. And so now I'm going to write it right in here. All right? Now, the one thing you want to do on this one is you want to say, tell the person that if this is how long it is here, it's going to come up 4 inches higher on the side because it has a shirt tail. That's where that gets its name, from the shirt having like a tail kind of thing. So if I say to him, Weston, this is going to come up to about here, I think that might be too short for you. Don't you think that's too short on your side?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask him where he wants it on his side. Like maybe right here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now I'm going to come back here. Okay, there we go. And I'm now going to go down to 30. Okay, so that will put it right here. And you can measure up from the floor. Measure up from the floor here and just make sure that's long enough for him. How tall are you, Weston?
6'2".
Okay, he is 6'2". These patterns are made for a guy that's about 5'10", 5'11". So that right there is telling me I'm going to probably have to add here. So I am going to write down 30 or 31 depending on the side. But don't forget, this comes up. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, sleeve length. Okay, on the sleeve length, I'm going to have him go like this and just stand nice and straight. Now on the sleeve length, we don't measure these from here because remember that the seam comes down over the shoulder, just like this t-shirt. So if I measure this and go down, we don't know exactly where that's gonna hit him. So to get a really, accurate measurement, we start at center back, up here at the neck. So I just kind of find, you can tell where and see, again, it's kind of where that little bump is right there. And you're just gonna measure that and come right over to the shoulder. Okay, then you're gonna come down, and I'm gonna have him bend his arm, because I wanna get the longest measurement that he is going to need. All right, then I come down past the elbow, around the elbow, I should say, and then I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna say, do you like it here, or do you want it like here?
That's pretty good.
Okay, right here, they usually like it half an inch beyond the wrist bone, kind of where the wrist breaks. So I'm gonna write that down, and that's 36.5. So when you buy dress shirts, I bet you get as long arms as you can find.
That's right.
Okay, so now I'm gonna put that down under sleeve length, okay? The next thing I'm gonna do is his neck size. Okay, on the neck size, so now he can face this way again. You wanna go down to the base of the neck, okay, where the neck kinda hits his body, and you wanna find the base, and this one we're gonna break the rule, and I'm gonna stick 2 fingers in here, all right? Because he doesn't want this skin tight. You need a little breathing room. So I'm gonna put this like this, put 2 fingers, and then I'm going to go, and he's like a 17 and a half, depending on, do you like it a little bit looser? Do you like it a little bit tighter?
A little bit tighter.
Okay, so with that in mind, I think I could go to the 17 inches, and I've still got room for my 2 fingers. All right, so I'm gonna write that down. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is shoulder width. Now you really only need this if you think that they have extra wide for how thin they are, or maybe quite narrow, but I'll show you how to do it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at his shoulders, and you're gonna feel, and there's kind of there's a bone, and then there's a little dent, okay, and that little dent is what we like. So I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna go straight across. Notice how I'm going, I'm not going down like this, I'm coming straight across, up by center back. And I'm gonna come over here, and I can feel that bone right there. So there's my shoulder width, all right? Okay, and I might have been down too far. Let me go back up here, because you want to make sure he's got his hinges right here. This kind of comes straight up by there. So don't be fooled by the shirt, which comes down. So take that hinge and go straight up. Okay, so we're right about there. Okay, good. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is his bicep. Okay, so I'm going to ask him if he's left or right-handed.
Right-handed.
Right-handed, that means he uses his right hand the most, his arm. Okay, here we are, good. All right, so right here, and we're just gonna measure that, and that looks good. Okay, so now I will write that down under bicep. I now have all the measurements that I need, so I'm gonna thank Weston for his participation in this video.